Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 24th of April. Indian Army says 41 terrorists killed post-Pulwama attack. Afghan envoy Daudzai calls on politicians to reverse decision to boycott peace jirga. And Sri Lanka attacks could have been avoided, says Deputy Defence Minister. And now for all the details. A top Indian Army commander on Wednesday said that security forces have neutralized at least 41 terrorists in India's Jammu and Kashmir province post the deadly Pulwama attack. The official said most of the slain terrorists belong to Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed, the group that claimed responsibility for the suicide bombing that killed at least 40 Indian paramilitary personnel in Pulwama in February.
A top Indian Army commander in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province said on Wednesday that security forces had gunned down at least 41 terrorists in the region post the deadly Pulwama terror attack. Addressing a press briefing, the official said most of the dead were from Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed or JEM terror group, which claimed responsibility for the suicide bombing that killed at least 40 Indian paramilitary personnel in Pulwama district of Jammu and Kashmir on February 14th.
This year, total of 69 terrorists have been killed, 12 apprehended. Post-Pulwama, 41 terrorists have been killed, and out of them 25 belong to Jaish-e-Mohammed. And out of the 25, 13 were the foreign terrorists, Pakistanis, and 13 were category A plus and above. So basically we have targeted the Jaish-e-Mohammed leadership.
The Indian Army had in March, 3 weeks after the Pulwama attack, claimed to have gunned down JEM's second commander Mudassir, who was the main conspirator behind the attack. Tensions had flared up between the nuclear-armed neighbours after India claimed it had incontrovertible evidence of Pakistan's involvement in the Pulwama attack. India has long accused Pakistan of harbouring terror groups to use them as proxy to mount attacks on Indian soil. Pakistan, however, denies the charges.
Moving on, the gruesome condition of roads has predominantly been deemed as the most important issue plaguing the growth and development in the illegally occupied region of Gilgit-Baltistan. Locals blame the dilapidated condition of roads has also adversely affected the tourism potential of the region.
Gilgit-Baltistan is home to some of the most captivating natural sceneries on earth, and its serene landscape has the potential of making it a tourist hotspot. However, the sad reality is that the number of tourists flocking the region has declined to a dismal low. The reason being the unscrupulous administration, which has been working with sole agenda of exploiting the people in the illegally occupied region. The poor condition of roads in Gilgit-Baltistan has not only adversely affected the tourism sector, travelling itself is a difficult task for even the locals.
यहाँ पर एक अरसा दराज से हम देख रहे हैं, मुझे गिलगित में रहते हुए तकरीबन 15-12 साल हुए। मैं सड़कों की वही खस्ता हालत देख रहा हूँ गुज़िश्ता 15 साल से। किसी किस्म की कोई तब्दीली नहीं आ रही है। तब्दीली अगर आती है थोड़ी दिनों के लिए आ जाती है।
अपने मदद आप जो है कि आवाम इस रोड में मिट्टी डाल रहे हैं और सड़क को बेहतर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और नाखिस ठेकेदारों को ठेके दिए जाते हैं, जिसको इस नाखिस मटेरियल को इस्तेमाल करके कुछ ही हफ्ते महीनों में वो टूट फूट का शिकार हो जाता है।
The gruesome condition of roads has predominantly been deemed as the most important issue plaguing the growth and development in the region. Pakistan's apathy towards the region is also visible in the fact that the region doesn't find a space in any government framework and is largely treated as a colony.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani's special envoy Umar Daudzai has called on politicians to reverse their decision of boycotting the peace jirga. He also said the move, in a sense, is disparaging Afghanistan's tradition and national pride.
Days after a number of politicians and political movements boycotted the upcoming Grand Consultative Jirga on Peace in Afghanistan, President Ashraf Ghani's special envoy Omar Daudzai has called on the opposition parties to reverse their decision. Daudzai said the move, in a sense, is disparaging Afghanistan's traditions and national pride. Around 3,000 delegates from across the country will attend the Jirga, which is a grand assembly of Afghans on discussing a unified pathway towards peace.
اگر بعضی از حلقات نگرانی داره که خدا نخواسته دولت من حیث دولت از این سوء استفاده نکنه، این رو بگذارن، این قضاوت باز بعد از لوی جرگه کنن. اگر بعد از لوی جرگه ارزیابیشان نشان داد که واقعا دولت خود سوء استفاده کرد، در اون صورت شاید باز ما طرفداری از واشم.
Afghan presidential candidates including Chief Executive Abdullah, former National Security Advisor Mohammad Hanif Atmar, and Ahmad Wali Masood and Rahmatullah Nabil are among the prominent Afghan leaders who have so far announced to boycott the peace jirga. Many of them have called the jirga an election campaign and a waste of time.
More news from Afghanistan. Afghanistan's Independent Human Rights Commission has announced that there has been a spike in civilian deaths as diplomatic efforts move on to end the 18-year-old conflict. The figures show 19% increase in civilian fatalities compared to a year before.
At least 11,000 civilians were killed and wounded in Afghanistan from March 2018 to March 2019, according to statistics by Afghanistan Independent Human Rights Commission or AIHRC, as diplomatic efforts move on to end the 18-year-old conflict. The figures show 19% increase in civilian fatalities compared to a year before, the AIHRC chairperson Seema Samar said at a press conference on Tuesday.
کمیسیون مستقل حقوق بشر افغانستان از طرفین منازعه می‌خواهد که ممدار قوانین بین‌المللی را مراعات بکنند و خواهان آتش بس هستند به خاطر خاتمه دادن به تلفات ملکی و منازعه در افغانستان.
According to the AIHRC report, from the total number of 11,000 casualties, 3,032 people were killed while the remaining 8,180 others were wounded.
Moving on to news from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's Deputy Defence Minister said on Wednesday that the Easter Sunday's bombings could have been avoided had intelligence information been given to the right people. The statement came as the death toll in the blast rose to at least 359 on Wednesday.
Sri Lanka's Deputy Defence Minister Ruwan Wijewardene said on Wednesday that the recent attacks could have been avoided had intelligence information been given to the right people, after the country's president vowed to change his defence chief in the near future. Speaking to media, Wijewardene gave few details on the background of the suspected suicide bombers, but said one of the group leaders was killed in the blast at the luxury Shangri-La Hotel. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan police spokesperson said that authorities had identified 8 out of 9 suspected suicide bombers.
Even more specifically, that attacks would be made.
Well, there was definitely a lapse of intelligence, and the government has, we have to take responsibility because, unfortunately, if this the sharing of intelligence information had been given to the right people, I think at least this could have been, whether it was could be avoided or even minimized.
The death toll from the series of blasts at churches and hotels across Sri Lanka on Easter Sunday has risen to 359 people, the deadliest such event in South Asia's history. Militant group Islamic State claimed the bombings on Tuesday.
First woman from Poonch district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province to crack the coveted civil service exams, Rihanna Bashir on Tuesday visited a government school and inspired the school children to achieve their dreams, braving all odds. She secured 187th rank in the recently announced Union Public Service Commission civil services examination results. Rehana Bashir, who became the first woman from Poonch district in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province to crack the coveted civil service exams, visited a government school on Tuesday and inspired the school children to achieve their dreams, braving all odds. Rehana, who hails from remote Salwa village of the district, says that schools in her area need better infrastructure, and if she is posted there, she will work to improve the facilities in schools. An MBBS graduate, Rehana secured 187th rank in the recently announced Union Public Service Commission or UPSC Civil Services examination results.
जब मैंने एग्ज़ाम क्वालिफाई किया था तब एक खुशी थी कि फाइनली जो ड्रीम मैंने रखा है लोगों के लिए काम करने का वो फाइनली अब पूरा हो पाएगा. तो तब मैंने ये चीज़ रियलाइज़ भी नहीं की थी कि मैं और भी चीज़ें साइड बाय साइड कर रही हूँ इस एग्ज़ाम को क्वालिफाई करके. जैसे कि मुझे बाकियों से ही पता चला कि मैं अपने रीजन की पहली फीमेल हूँ जो ये एग्ज़ाम क्वालिफाई कर रही है.
UPSC Civil Services examination is one of the toughest exams to crack in the country. It is conducted every year and the process involves a preliminary round followed by a written test and then a personality test. This year, a total of 759 candidates were recommended for appointment in Indian Administrative Service, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Police Service and Central Services. A 69-year-old lone voter living in a village inside Gir Wildlife Sanctuary in India's western Gujarat province cast his vote in the third phase of the general election on Tuesday. The general election in the country began on April 11th and the 7th and the final phase will be held on May 19th.
Indian election officials travelled miles inside a deep forest known for a rare breed of Asiatic lions in India's western Gujarat province to ensure that the 69-year-old man living there could cast his vote on Tuesday. A 4-member team of election officials accompanied by a police personnel travelled about 43 miles on Monday by car to set up a special polling station in Banej, a village inside the Gir Wildlife Sanctuary that houses a single voter named Mahant Bharat Das Guru Darshan Das. A temple priest who has lived in the village for 2 decades, Darshan Das has not missed an election since 2002 and he cast his vote on Tuesday by walking nearly half a mile to where the polling station was set up.
मैं यहाँ मध्य गिर के अंदर रहता हूँ और यहाँ पे एक बूथ है और उसका गवर्नमेंट बहुत खर्चा करती है एक वोट के लिए और मैं ये वोट किया है आज 100% मत हुआ है और मैं आपको सबको यही सलाह देता हूँ कि आप सब अपना अमूल्य वोट कीजिए और 100% मत होना चाहिए. सब जगह से रिजल्ट ये आवे कि भाई 100% मत हुआ, जैसे बानेज में हुआ वैसा सब जगह से 100% का रिजल्ट आना चाहिए.
The 7th-phase general election, which began on April 11th, is spread over 39 days, with the final phase on May 19th. Votes would be counted on May 23rd, and the results would be announced the same day.
Scores of people on Tuesday gathered to pay homage to the soldiers who were killed during the Anglo-Manipur War in India's northeastern Manipur province. Kongjam Day is observed annually to remember the sacrifices of the soldiers in the last battle of independence against the British.
Scores of people on Tuesday gathered to pay homage to the soldiers who were killed during the Anglo-Manipur War in Thoubal district of India's northeastern Manipur province. The 128th Kongjam War Memorial Day was observed at the hillock where the war memorial is situated. Floral tributes were paid to the freedom fighters and special prayers were also performed for them. A drama based on the war was also staged by a troupe of artists on the occasion.
We are commemorating the 128th Kongjam War Memorial Day this year. It is to encourage our younger generations to be courageous in all terms and remember the sacrifice for this very proud Manipur state.
Kongjam Day is observed annually on April 23rd to pay tributes to the brave soldiers of Manipur who made sacrifices in the last Battle of Independence, popularly known as Kongjam War, against the British on April 23rd, 1891.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.